So now we want to QC our data from our processing and make our products. So when you came out of processing, you saved a 3x3 XYZ. So there's a few methods. One of the easiest to do, especially with large data sets, is to go ahead and cut cross sections of it. So we'll go to the 10 model. We'll put in our main input file of our survey. And this is a 3x3, just what we surveyed. You don't need an additional file. You don't need a channel file. You do need some plan line files. So we have a 3D cross-section line file for the whole project. We'll put that in and we'll let it go. You'll then go to export all format. You're going to do a 5-point spacing. This just reduces the file size. It's good enough for checking. Also, export beyond line limits. That means it'll display the data past the start and end of the line. Then go to output file, and you're going to save it. It goes in the edit folder. I make a separate one for cross sections. You may even have another folder to break up different sections. You're going to create a folder for that day. For this one, I'm just going to call it test, but name it the date, what it is, whatever you want to do. You then name your files. Name them whatever you want. I usually just go with the date. Once that's done, you'll hit export, and it's going to cut the data that you have onto cross sections. Once it's complete, exit shows up. You click exit, and you can close out 10 model. We'll then go into cross sections, and we'll bring in our data from our survey. And we need to compare it to something, so we'll compare it to the BD. You need to use the same process to get your BD cut to cross sections, and they need to be saved. Once they come in, you can sort them. You need to name your files. For this, you're just checking data. We're not printing them, but if you are printing them, click on somewhere in the column, go to the pencil, you can name it, the date, who did it, what it is. You can set the color. Generally, the AD or CND is red, the BD is blue, and anything else is green or black. You can put in your overdepth. If it's something you want to do, you put the number in. This button here will fill the column. To sort them, to get them lined up, all the cross sections lined up, you push this button. This will line everything up to your first column. And then you don't need all of this stuff in there, so you can delete them. You highlight them and then hit the delete selection. Then we can go into the view tab. You might get an error message. It's about volumes that it can't create or calculate them. We're not calculating volumes here, so you can ignore it. Then we're going to step through our data, and we're going to look at how we compare. So when you're digging certain types of materials, sometimes you'll see this happening here where just outside of a dig zone, it comes up above grade, and then it starts to match up a little better. What you're looking for is a general matching of the data, not a constant offset. And in this data set, we're seeing some stuff that's high, some stuff that's low, some stuff that's matching up well. There's going to be infill in your projects. So you're looking for a general trend of it matching up with the BD. You could add in a previous day survey to make sure you're matching yourself. To do that, you just go to the next column, And we'll bring in, actually don't know if this one will work, but we will try. Step through until we start seeing all of it. Need to change the color of this one. Make it green. So here you can see we're generally matching up with ourselves on multiple surveys. So this would indicate that the survey is good. If you needed to print them, you can go through print, and I can make a video about that. But for this one, this is just about QCing data and getting it in here. So then we'll move on to creating our products for this Red Hook project. Once we verified our data is good, we need to merge our data in with a previous data set, because if we look at what we surveyed, this one for example, this does not cover the entire area. We only surveyed what the dredge had dug. So we need to merge it in with the rest so that you can calculate volumes and create a matrix for the dredge and make a plot. So to do that, you will go to Utilities, File Work, and XYZ Manager. It's going to pull up this, open up a sound database. Hit Cancel. You're going to create a new database. You can name them whatever. I go through the alphabet. When I'm done with it, delete all of them. You go to Processing, Import Soundings, and you're going to choose your data. That is only what you surveyed. So once you choose it, it has a date. You want to make sure that the dates are right. This process will put the newest data on top of the older data, cut out the older data, and replace it with this newer data. So we'll then import our either previous merge survey or our BD. We did this entire area that the dredge had dug, so this will be merged with the BD. If it was only tomorrow's survey and we survey a smaller area, I'm going to merge it in with today's merged file. Bring that in. So you notice the date here. You can see the red is on top of the green. If the dates were flipped, the green would be on top of the red. You right click on them and go to Border Tool. You're going to do a max leg of 15 feet because this is all 3x3s and the grid size is a 3. We apply it. And hit OK. Do the same thing on this. Do 15 feet and 3. You want to keep these tight. Notice the change so that you're not cutting out old data and replacing it with blank or interpolated data. Once you've done that, you go to Processing, Export, and these should be the settings that you're looking for. They shouldn't change day to day. Click Export, and you'll name the file. And we normally will take file, 3x3, add the word merge to it, and you're good to go. Then you save it, which I already have one saved, so I'm not going to save. And then you can close out this window. From there, we will take go into the 10 model, We take our newly merged 3x3, and this is the only file that you'll need. We go to export XYZ. We're going to create 15 by 15. If you needed a 50 by 50 or 5 by 5, you just change your spacing here. Go to the output file, and we're going to name it that, but we're going to change it to a 15 by 15. You click save. I already have it in here, so it doesn't want me to save it. Click save. Then you click export. It's going to do it. Once the exit button becomes available and the picture's done, you'll hit exit, and you'll be left with a 15 by 15 that covers the whole area. In order to put this onto a plot, it's easiest if you keep it checked in the shell. You go to Final Products, Export. Scroll down and ensure that the 15 by 15 is all that's checked there, and you need to uncheck anything else because we only want the soundings. You're going to be doing a DWG, so you need to select DWG from there, and we're going to name our file. You're going to put this on Ignite or in your project, wherever you're saving it. I'm going to put it on the desktop to easily delete. You'll name it with whatever nomenclature we're trying to go with. Once you set these options up once, you don't have to do it again, but you go to Options, CAD Parameters, and Soundings. And what we're looking for here is a text height of 5, fixed angle at 135 degrees, single object, and export colored soundings. Click on the colored soundings tabs and you can choose what color file you want to use. So this area is 35 plus 2, so that's what we'll use. Once you say OK, that saves it. When you export it, the next time you come in, all these settings will be the same. You don't have to go through this step. The reason we do single object soundings is because it's kind of across the board with any project. Once these come into CAD, you can then change the text height and the rotation in CAD, and you don't have to guess and check in here what's going to work best. So it gives you a little bit more flexibility in your CAD program. Say OK, and you click convert, and that's going to convert the file and save it as a DWG. From there, you will open up your wherever you've saved your files, and you're going to need your background open, and we are also going to need our soundings. So you navigate to wherever those were saved. Once they're open, you can use a couple commands, whether it be type in zoom, enter E will give you extents. Notice down here it has different options. You can also double click on your scroll button on your mouse. That will do it. This will find our soundings. What we need to do is copy them. So click once, left click once, and drag the box around it. That will select all of our soundings. Once that cursor starts moving again, it has everything selected. We're then going to copy. You can right click and copy, clipboard, copy, or you can use the keyboard and type Control C. Again, once that mouse starts moving, they've been copied. You can then go into our background project. We right click on the screen, go to clipboard, and paste to original coordinates. Unfortunately, there's no shortcut for that. You can't type in paste to ridge. So now the soundings are in, but they are on top of our map, which makes it hard to see on the PDF. So you're going to select, start here, there's different settings and select similar. So if you type in select similar and enter, notice down here you can select objects or you can type SE for settings. So we're going to type SE. This is everything, all the settings you can use to have it choose by. Right now, the only thing it's choosing by is by color. So it's going to choose anything that's the same color as what I select. So you can escape out of that command, click a black, a blue, and a red, select similar, and it's going to choose our soundings. Once the mouse allows us to start moving again, it's ready. So then you right click on the screen, go to display order, and send it to back. Now the soundings are behind the drawing. So you go to your layout tab for the area we're working in. This one is area 4. And you'll edit the date, double click on it until it allows you to change the text. Change the date. And now you're ready to print. So if you click on the CAD symbol and just click print, don't choose any of the options, just click print. It's going to bring up your plot window. Depending on the version of AutoCAD you have, you might have to play around with this some. On my version, which I think is 2018, this is the setting that works. But you click here, you have various other ways to do it. Once you find the one that works, apply it to layout, go to all your other layouts, choose those options and apply it to that layout and save your background. That'll save you time in the future. You then click OK. It's going to pop up a window to save it. You're going to save it wherever you need to save it, and then it's going to print it to a PDF. Once you're done with that, unless you need to save your drawing, you don't need to. If you do need to save it, I recommend going back to model, selecting a black, a red, and a blue, select similar, and delete the soundings. You can either right click and delete or just click delete on the keyboard. Now you can save it without those soundings in there. These soundings are the ones that's going on the dredge. If the dredge has issues with newer CAD files, you're going to want to go up here to the CAD symbol, save as, erase the .dwg and put 2010 in there, and change the file type to a DWG in the 2010. It's going to save it as 2010 version. All high-pack versions can take that. The newer ones, you are fine with 2018 CAD files. But if you need to save it as a 2010, that's how you do that. Once you do that, you're done with that section. The last step that we need to do is create our matrix. So you're going to go to Utilities, XYZ to Matrix. Here we're going to name our file. So you're going to navigate to where you want to save it to, whether that be on Ignite, within your project, on your desktop, whatever. I keep an uploads folder in my project, so it's easier for me to upload the dredge. So you'll navigate to where you want to save it. You'll give it its name. I'm sorry, this one is incorrect. This top one is the XYZ file. This is the file you want to use. So we're going to use our merge 3x3. And then this is where we will name it. So once you name it, you say save. We're going to use a max leg of 50, cell size 5 and 5. You click run. Do not do anything else on your computer while the matrix is going on. Otherwise, it will not work. So click run, let it do its thing. Once it's complete, you can close out. You'll take the matrix and the 15 by 15 soundings and upload them onto the dredge, and then your products are done.